In this episode, we are going to explore high leg in terms of guard retention as well as just general bottom guard game. Specifically, we're not looking at techniques, but we are trying to understand the biomechanics of this in terms of the limitations of people like me who have relatively limited mobility and range of motion flexibility. So, our knee is a primary concern that a lot of flexible guys don't really have to worry about, where they can just bring that leg and shin over the body and just like play their guard from there, something that people like me struggles to do. So we also want to look into certain issues, like in the modern game, a lot of people like to do camping and being inside, and as a reaction, we tend to like to open or shrimp out just to get some space to get it in, which obviously is not ideal because it opens up the pass for them. Like I consider myself relatively okay in terms of like mobility. Like you see that I can still bring my knee roughly to my chest, but not like the flexible people who can bring it like all the way to the armpit. But you can see that as soon as I lift my knee up to my chest and I'm trying to pummel just with my knee, I have a very limited range of motion. So what I kind of figured out through experimentation and is to try to figure out how to overcome that tightness of hamstring that allows the lower limb to be able to be brought above the body. And I figured that I noticed that a lot of times when we try to pummel this upper leg, and if we bring it to the shoulder closest to us, it is a lot harder than bringing it over the head of your partner. So again, if we try to bring it way over the head of the partner, because of both momentum and just the fact that you can bring the leg over without having to torque the knee, makes it a lot simpler. As you can see, like right now, if I do my maximum leg lift through a pendulum, like an outside swinging motion, I get a lot more range of motion from my knee to my ankle than just lifting my my knee to my chest, like a typical guard game. So it's something worth considering. So you can see right now I'm blocking the hips, and if we are just going to throw the leg over my head, it allows you to bring your high leg defense to the cross shoulder side if you want to, and that's usually like a very natural way of bringing it, even if you cannot bring it all the way across the body. And you always have the option to bring it back to the close side. So bringing the cross side also offers you some options, such as inverting. If you are struggling to invert while being stuck, this might be a good solution for you to bring it back. And there's also some timing involved in this in terms of like awareness. If I put my head down, it actually gives you that far side high leg pummel a lot easier. That allows you to invert to get a triangle in that example. Again, there is a very finite limit in how you can torque your knee around if you're not flexible, but your hip has a lot more movement options. You can see that JC, even though he's not that flexible as well, he's able to bring that to my far shoulder a lot easier. I kind of found this out from watching traditional like karate and taekwondo videos, wherein if we bring the traditional way of bringing our knee up to our chest and doing a kick, it relies a lot more on your hamstring flexibility and hip flexors, and it limits to how high you can bring, as opposed to just like doing kind of like a crescent kick type of thing, which even for a guy like me who doesn't have a lot of hamstring flexibility can bring it over my head. Again, it opens up a lot of options for you to load the person's center of gravity right on top of your shin. That allows you to do sweeps. It also for guys who like JC who likes to do wrestle-ups, for example, it also opens up options for him to sit up a lot easier than trying to recover guard. Right? It lends a single leg or a stand up a lot easier. So again, as you defend outside passing or even camp passing, as they go side to side, throwing your leg across, yes, you might be susceptible for certain moves, but you can see that if you time it correctly, there are a lot of options for you to counter attack as well. So right now we're just using somebody else. Here we're using JJ, who's just trying to be a static pressure partner at the moment, who's just pushing in. And you can see that if we just try to pummel their shin over, it's going to be hard, even with a static partner. You can see there's a limit on how far my leg can go, as opposed to just swinging it like a crescent and being able to square back up and play other guards that you want. You can kind of see that after a while, if you start playing with your partner, with your training partner, and just flow, and just get the feel of it, of when to bring this leg over. A lot of times you can time it when the person drops the head, and that's a good time for you to bring that leg over, because that also like prevents a lot of stacking in terms of that moment when you bring the leg over. They usually retreat because they know that you're going to recover guard. That allows you to just switch back and forth different guards a lot more fluidly, as you can see that I'm doing here. Again, I'm not a flexible guy, and I have really short legs, but even this allowed me to play a more dynamic bottom game rather than just get stuck and eventually get somebody's just grind your way through. So again, if you like to play leg locks, if you like to play K guards and things like that, I think this also, especially Choi bars, I think Choi bars and arm bars really come into play if people really commit to driving forward. I'm not much of an inside pressure passer guy, so might not be a good example to this, but I do like to leg weave, and you can see that entering legs and stuff like that come into play. I hope you like this video, play around with your friends, and let me know if it helps you. See you again.